Sports fans, PBZ, Sports Chaos. And guess what? We started with football last week. We talked about offseason stuff, and now we go into the divisional schedules. We give a sneak peek of what we think's happened in this 2025 season, team by team. And we're starting with the NFC West. Maybe the NFC least. I don't know. A lot of people say it's supposed to be a great division. I'm not so sure. Let's see what PB thinks as we go through it. We're going to start with the Arizona Cardinals. PB, first of all, what does the odds maker say about over/under on Cardinals wins?
Yeah, so first let me just say this is my favorite time of the summer when we get to go through these divisions and predict. So cheers to that. PB and Z will be back at you on a weekly basis here. Um, and I also, before I even get into the under over on each of these teams, the fortunate part of these teams' schedules this year is they are probably playing what most would consider to be the two weakest divisions in football. They're drawing the AFC South and the NFC South in terms of the common opponents that they're playing throughout the year. So that would lend itself to this division having a better record than you would maybe think. However, I only have the entire division finishing one game over 500. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So, but let's start with the Cardinals, as you said. I have them. To me, this is a pretty easy under. They're 8.5 right now, which is a minus 105 bet, which I really like. I have them finishing 6-11. I think their road games are tough with having to play up in Dallas in one of their swing games. Um, they got to play Atlanta at home. That could be a loss. Like there's some teams that you would normally think might be wins for them that I'm turning into losses. They also got to play Green Bay at home. That's a tough one. So I'm putting this team right now at 6 wins, and I think that might even be a little generous.
With you, I get them 6 wins and maybe seven at best. But and by the way, that might be predicated on their Week 18 game, which I believe is against the Rams, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. So, and the Rams could have the division clinched, and they may not play anybody, right? So, 6 wins. It depends on how they play the Rams in Week 18. But I'm with you on that.
Right. Well,
Boy,
that's a brutal schedule down the stretch. You're look at the last 6 games at Tampa,
yeah.
Rams at home, at Houston, Atlanta at home, at Cincy, at the Rams. Like this team could be thinking, oh, we're doing pretty good this year. They could be sitting at 6-5 or 6-4, and then just run the table with losses the rest of the way.
I totally agree with you. I mean, I do like their draft, though. What, we didn't do our prediction. I mean, our draft follow, but I got them as a B plus in their draft. I like a couple of guys they took out, like Walter Nolan and Will Johnson. Both of them will start on defense for the team. So, but I'm with you. 6 wins, maybe seven, depending on the Rams rest in Week 18.
Right, right.
All right, let's go up north to Seattle. The over under
Yep.
on that is what?
That this one's 8.5 as well. So both them and Arizona are sitting at 8.5. However, unlike the under bet with Arizona, which is only one minus 105, the under bet on this is minus 140. So what does that tell you? It's more likely that Seattle doesn't win their 8 games or 9 games than Arizona because you have to lay way more money to make money there on the under. And I'm right there. I'm right on the cusp. The under over is 8.5, and I have them at 8 wins. So technically, I guess I do have them under, finishing at 8 and 9. Again, chance to take advantage of some of the schedule because they got the NFC South and they got the AFC South winnable games, but their swing games are tough. They got to play up in Washington. They have to play Minnesota at home as their two NFC swing games. Those are to me are two losses for this team. And let's not forget too, this team has a brand new look. Really, you got Cooper Cup's
Down
in there,
quarterback.
receiver. Yeah,
Yep.
DK Metcalf's gone. You got Sam Darnold, quarterback, and you got a new head coach. I mean, a lot of things different there in Seattle. I think it's gonna be tough for them to win 9 games this year. So I got them at 8 and 9.
By the way, PB, so I got them with you. I'm 8 wins as well. I got them beating New Orleans, Tampa Bay, the Cards once, anyways. Colts, Panthers, at Atlanta, at Tennessee, and then the swing game in this group is San Fran, Week 18. San Fran could be sending people out, so I got that game. But I have a little bit of an upside. I got these guys potentially at 10, and where I got them at 10 wins. how they do when they go to Pittsburgh and how they do when they go to Jacksonville.
Yep, those will be two key games for sure.
And by the way, I love their draft. I got their draft at A minus. I got the guard Zabel's going to start. The safety of Maury's going to start. The tight end out of the University of Miami, Arroyo, he'll be a
Yep.
factor. He won't start because they get Noah Fant, but he'll be a player. I love Jalen Milroe. That was a steal. He may be their future quarterback, right? And then this kid Riley Mills, the defensive tackle, which I think he was out of Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. So they had the best draft of the division, in my opinion. So we'll see. But Seattle, it all depends on Sam Darnold. Is either Sam Darnold played in Minnesota for the first 10 weeks, or Sam Darnold played in Minnesota for the last 6, 7 weeks?
Right. And that'll speak to, that coaching system and working with O'Connell and the rest of the crew up there. So, but yeah, so at the end of the day, though, you have your prediction is 8 wins.
Yeah.
Okay, mine is 2. I mean, we both had Arizona with 6. We both had Seattle at 8, and we didn't get together before this. So we're thinking
No.
the same way. We're thinking the same way. All right, what's next?
Let's go to the 49ers. What do you think there?
Man, this is a team they finished dead last year, right? They
And
won
that
5 or
gives them the
6
benefit
games.
of a very weak schedule, right?
They do got a weaker schedule, and again, they get that benefit of the NFC and AFC South in terms of the teams they're playing, divisions out of conference or out of division and out of conference. That being said, you know, Debo's gone. Ayuk is, questionable. Pearsall's even hurt right now. Juwan Jennings could be your number one receiver on this team. What's CMC going to be like? Is he going to actually, finish off his career strong, or there's a lot of question marks? I think the defense is the one thing I can count on with this team. I think the defense is solid, but I'm not so sold on their offense necessarily. And I can see this team easily splitting in their own division and going 3-3. And then maybe outside of that, going 7-4 and finishing with a 10-7 record. Got them sitting at 10 wins. By the way, the under over on this one is 10.5. And to bet the under is minus 135. So you got to lay a lot of money to win that. So basically what Vegas is saying there is this team's probably going to go under the 10.5 wins.
The first one, I'm going to go the other way around. I'm going to go over. I got them going 11. I see them beating the Saints. I see them beat with Seattle week 1. I know it's at Seattle, but I see them winning that game. Saints, Cards, Jags, Falcons. They go to the Giants. That's an easy win. They got Carolina. That's an easy win. They go to Cleveland. That's an easy win. Titans. That's not going to be a challenge. Bears. Not a challenge. I see them splitting with the Rams. And then week 18, like we talked about earlier, with the Rams. Seattle is their opponent in week 18. That might be the differentiator between 10 and 11. I see them still winning that game. So I got them at 11.
All right. So you got them over that. I got them at 10-7. We're off by 1 game there.
By the way, their draft to me was about a B minus. I like Mikael Williams, the edge player. I like the D tackle Alfred Collins, and they got a steal late in the draft. This kid George James, running back. I forget where he played at, but I do like him a lot. So, but you're right about their depth chart. I mean, is Purdy the real deal? We've been asking this now every year. Can McCaffrey stay healthy? Ayuk, can he stay healthy? Right. Pearsall may be the best receiver on that team, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, well, Juwan Jennings has the experience. I mean, we'll see what Pearsall can do. But yeah, talent-wise, he could be.
And they got George Kittle. George Kittle is rock as solid as they come, right?
Yeah, and he's going to stay healthy too.
Let's go to the Rams. Here we go. The other team that everybody's kind of high on, but they're also the division winner from last year, right? So a little tougher schedule.
Yep.
So what do you think over there for the Rams?
Yeah, and that's why they have to play at Philly, and that's why they got to play at Baltimore, and they also get Detroit at home as kind of their games that their other opponents don't have. Those are 3 tough games. So to me, those are 3 losses, really. If they can win one of those 3 games, I think this team could push 12 wins. But I think those are 3 of the losses that they endure this year. And along with a game, probably 2, maybe even split within the division. So I only see them losing about 5 or 6 games, maybe 7. But right now, I'm going to go 11-6 with the Rams to win the division by a game over Frisco. And by the way, the under over on this one's 9.5. So Vegas has them finishing second behind San Francisco because they get San Francisco at 10.5. And by the way, the over on this, so Vegas does expect them to go over the 9.5. You have to lay 150 to make 100 for them to go over 9.5. I think that's an easy bet. I can't see this team winning only 9 games and going 9-8, but I got them at 11-6.
Again, I'm a little different I got them 10. I get them 10 wins, and it's Houston at Tennessee, the Colts. They split with San Fran, at the Jags, New Orleans, at Carolina, at the Cardinals, Falcons, and then they come back in week 18. Now, this is the wild card, week 18. This maybe makes them a 9-17 because it's the Cardinals. If they're in a playoff spot, the Rams are going to sit people out because they're going to be playing for a wild card at that point in time, in my opinion, and it could sit people out. So that's the potential. I see them maybe 9 as opposed to 10, but 10's my pick right now.
All right. So basically, we have the Rams and San Francisco flip-flopped because I had Frisco with 10, Rams with 11. You have Rams with 10 and Frisco with 11.
Wait, the Rams, though, a couple things about the Rams roster. They picked up Devontae Adams. That is huge. Cooper Kupp's no longer there, as we talked about Alex team. They still got Puka. If Puka's healthy and Devontae plays up to his, Devontae legend, that's a formidable offense at the end of the day. Kyron Williams, the running back, right? They can score points. I'm not sold on the defense. And by the way, they did shit in the draft. I give them the worst draft grade of the entire division, C- and maybe even a D+.
Okay. Yeah. And remember last year they did also draft Blake Corum out of Michigan, and he's there behind Kyron Williams too. So I do agree they do have some talent on offense. I think they'll be okay though.
Yeah, I do too. They'll put some points on the boards for sure. I mean, I love Puka. The more and more I see the kid, I love that guy. So, all right, we'll see what happens. We got, but the two teams we don't see being in the factor is definitely Arizona and definitely Seattle, though, at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I think the Rams and San Francisco will both be fighting for that division, and obviously one of them will be in if they do, and the other one will be right in that wild card talk.
Okay, man. All right, we're gonna do AFC West next, right?
All right, let's do it.
By the way, it's a good day because Novak Djokovic lost again in the Wimbledon, so I'm very happy.
All right, my man.
All right, my man. PB, I'll talk to you soon.
I will see you.